Okay, to start this video, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have a stock setup and you want to change your tie rods, you're gonna need to buy the entire tie rod assembly, not just the two tie rods at the end, because from the factory, the passenger side tie rod is crimped on there, so you can't take that off. You got to get the whole bar. And with the driver's side, because it has that weird like adjustment nut on there, you're gonna kind of like strip that, screw around with it. It's not even worth the time. So just buy the whole assembly all over again if you're gonna do a stock assembly. But if you're gonna do an upgraded assembly, I got something from RPM Steering that was perfect. Now I only budgeted for an $80 repair, and I bought the two ends. And by the time I started taking everything apart, I kind of realized this is gonna be screwed up because I can't get the passenger side off. Ended up spending $550, but it looks a whole lot better. Just hit 232,000 miles. No, that oil is not from my Jeep, but it's from my Escalade. I got a power steering leak coming from my brake booster area. So I had it parked over here at first. I work wherever there's oil. I'm not working on a clean spot. But my alignment bar on my Jeep, I'm at 232,000 miles. So when you pull this bar, see how it just kind of falls back into place like that? It's not supposed to do that. It should have enough rigidity to stay wherever you push it, but it just kind of falls back into place. So what I did is I went and I ordered some, and I don't like, that's your adjustment piece right there, that piece at the end. I like this adjustment piece a lot better. So I got new tie rod ends, and that should tighten up that alignment bar a little bit. And I got to do a little cosmetic work up under here anyways. I'm going to paint a couple of things, get stuff all nice and clean in here. And I'm going to install, all you really need is a 15 millimeter. Your 15 millimeter takes off, the two little brackets on there. And then you got a 13/16. That'll sit up on the top of your, the nut up here. Your 13/16 will go up there, pop that off. Like I said, you just get you a hammer and start tapping away. That thing should drop out. I got, my brass hammer. I got a separator in case I need a separator. I got, a little socket set. But should be pretty easy to do. Shouldn't be too hard. Like I said, it shouldn't have play in it. And my track bar's got a little play too, but it's still tight. It's really tight. My track bar is really tight. But I'm going to end up replacing this because I just want something different. But that is way too much play. I don't have death wobble or nothing like that, but it shouldn't have that much play. That's a lot of play. Already got my two 15 millimeters loose. Like I said, that's loose. I'm gonna slide that off the end. This is loose right here. It's pretty loose, so I'm gonna end up sliding the bar through here. Now I got everything loosened up. I got, my nuts off the top of these tie rod ends on both sides. Got my jack stands up under there. Then I take the wheels off because I do not like being up under a Jeep with no wheels on it. Just something about the weight of this Jeep crashing down on me just don't sound good. So I don't take my wheels off until I'm ready to actually knock these things out with a hammer. Here it goes. It's knocked out. So you smack here about 2 or 3 times with a nice size hammer. It's dropping out. First side, you got to kind of hit here about 3 or 4 times, then tap once on the top, it'll drop right out. On the other side, all you got to do is just hit here on the other side over there. The whole thing will just fall down. So there it is, pretty easy. So to get a good baseline, I've already adjusted, my adjustments bolt all the way up to where that one is. It kind of lined everything up. This is just for my baseline, like I said. So I got everything lined up on, this is driver's side. But I'll show you, this is how you know when you can move this thing around with one finger. Look at that. That's it. That thing's done. It's toast. Look at that. You shouldn't be able to move it that easy. So 232,000 miles, that's pretty much what it does. So like I said, I didn't have death wobble and nothing weird like that going on. I just knew, I got a lot of miles on this Jeep, so it's time to start replacing stuff before things go wrong. Like on this one, I can't even budge it. No matter what I do, I'm pulling, there you go. Pull it with one finger as hard as I can, and it moved. Pushing as hard as I can, straighten it back out. But that, you just barely just do like that, and that thing's like all flimsy. Now, when you're taking the driver's side off, you see the little groove that's on your bar? I'm going to put my little separator in there because you got to kind of separate it a little bit because it's pretty tight, because this bracket here tightened it down on this screw, on this big adjustment bolt. So you got to kind of tap it. I'm going to separate this little gap right there So this thing will turn a whole lot easier. And to turn it, I think I got a pair of, I got a pair of adjustables here. So I'm using that to turn that bolt right there. Pull it straight off, you should be good. After realizing I couldn't get the passenger side off because it was crimped on there, and I found that out through going on YouTube saying, how do people get the passenger side tie rod off? And I watched this one guy's video, and he never told anybody until halfway through the video. After people spent about 6 minutes watching this video, then he said, yeah, you can't get the passenger side off. I told you ahead of time. I'm headed down to go pick up my parts. I gotta go get me a new track bar, new tie rods from RPM. So they're based here in South Phoenix. Well, they're in Tempe. So I'm driving over to go pick my parts up now. Had to take the big truck today. Yeah, my little Jeep, you know, I can't pop wheelies with that thing all through traffic. But hopefully today I'll be rolling. I gotta do the alignment and all of that crap, so let's see what I can do. Drove down to RPM steering and I got my new track bar, my new alignment bar. Already came with everything on it. So, and they give you this for your steering stabilizer. You will need this to lock onto the bar. So got free one of those. Oh yeah, so hey, if you're in Phoenix, you need some parts for your Jeep or your truck or whatever, there you go, RPM steering. Yeah, I gotta go home. I got more concrete I went and bought too while I was out. So yep, there we go. This is gonna be nice. It's my new stuff right here. That's my old bar. So that's the old one there, and that's that old bar sitting up under here. So all of that stuff's coming out today. And we're putting on the new RPM steering stuff. Yeah, I even got some candy. I'm gonna eat that later. Okay, I got the first bar on there. That's my tie rod bar. So I have it on there. I don't have it tight. Like all I did really was I just kind of screwed these on by hand. I didn't tighten nothing down, just kind of got it in place, screwed it in by hand. I haven't taken off my track bar yet because everything was perfect before I took everything apart. So I'm taking that off after I get everything set. So once I get my alignment set right, where it at least looks decent, I'm gonna pull my track bar off because it's connected up to where my pitman arm is, and it's going all the way down to my passenger side wheel. So I want to make sure that this is gonna be the exact same length, dimensions. I don't want nothing to move because I don't want to have to redo this all over again. I'll take it for a test drive and kind of adjust it, but I'm making sure it was perfect before I messed with it, so hopefully it's perfect when I'm finished with it. Now I'm working on my track bar. I got this bolt off. These are 13/16, or you can use a 21 millimeter to get those off, because over on the driver's side, you know, you can't get a socket up in here. Since you can't fit a socket up in there, this is what I'm using, 21 millimeter. Just kind of put it on there and just crank it, turn it. As soon as I get these nuts off, I'm gonna kind of tap on each side, or you can get a ball joint separator, put it in there, drop that down, and do the other side. And I don't even have this on here tight yet because you got to do your alignment and everything. So you got to loosen these up. I've already loosened it up a little bit, push it out some. I have it aligned before I even started taking these off. I kind of got the wheels like straightened as good as I can, but if I can't get it how I want it, I'll probably take it over to Midas and have them realign it. But for now, I think it's gonna be okay. All right, in order to get the driver's side off, you know, up there, I use my ball joint separator, and over there I just tapped a couple of times right here. I just hit, bam, bam, hit it at the top, drop straight out. I put that on there just to protect it when it dropped, because I know it would drop. But here it is, it's out now. So what I want to do now is kind of line everything up. I want to have this lined up on this side. It's about as good as I can. So that's probably lined up. Then over here, lined up as good as I can. Because when I put it in there, I want it as close to being lined up as possible. It ain't gonna be perfect, but if it's close, you know, I can manage at least to get it over to Midas. So I got the track bar in, got the alignment bar on with the tie rods and everything. And so I lined it up exactly how it should be. So my steering wheel is got kind of sideways. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll readjust my steering wheel to be like this, because I want my steering wheel to be straight. And I'll come looking at my wheels. All right, so driver's side is aiming more, you know, driver's side to the left, so I need to pull that in a little bit. and my passenger side is aiming a little towards my driver's side. So I'm gonna aim that outward toward the right, towards passenger side. So that should help adjust my alignment a little bit. That's why I didn't tighten anything up. Nothing's tight now because you have to do alignment. So once I tighten it up, my steering wheel should be straight and everything should be good to go. Let's hope. I just gotta make it to Midas. Okay, I tightened everything down as much as I can. I'm gonna take it over to Midas and see if they can adjust it, because I know I'm off. I just feel that I'm off. So I'm gonna run it over to Midas real quick, pay them, you know, 70, 80 bucks, see if they can align this thing, get my steering wheel straight, because it's still turned like a little bit. I want it to be perfect. I don't want any wobbling, no nothing, but that looks nice. Aluminum, this stuff bends and then it jumps right back into place. Steel, it'll bend and then it'll almost stay in the shape that you just bent it to. So aluminum is truly an upgrade. I like it. This is literally my steering wheel to go straight. That's crazy. Oh man, that is nuts. Yep, to go straight, my steering wheel looks like this. Well, a little bit like this. All right, that's to go straight. So I got some adjustments to do. Okay, to drive my steering wheel straight is like that. A little bit better. But I gotta go do one more adjustment. But I mean, last time it was like way like that. But now I turn like that, it goes. So, you know, it's a little bit better. Let's try to see what we can do. Okay, now to go straight, it's about like that now. So I kind of overcorrected. I'm gonna do an extra, like little small adjustment and try to pull it back like this. Cause like this, it's barely pulling driver's side. Like the Jeep is kind of drifting. There we go, dead center. It drives pretty straight. That's it, I figured it out. That's it, I got it straight, baby. Done. She's out of the driveway and back in her parking spot, the front yard. I like it, looks pretty cool. That aluminum looks really good up under there. Yep, so she's ready to rock and roll. I got more concrete to lay. I gotta make it all the way to the side street, but yep, she looks pretty solid. I love it.